Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're getting ready to tackle that CDL exam, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code on the cargo rules, the specific must-know stuff that you are definitely going to see on your test.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a question that I can almost guarantee you'll see. Have a look. What is the absolute, rock-bottom minimum number of tie-downs for any single piece of cargo? We'll get to the answer, but trust me, you're going to want to have this number memorized.
And that right there is why we're doing this. Nailing questions like that is the key. We're not just going to read the manual, we are zeroing in on what you'll actually be tested on. We'll cover your pre-trip inspection, how to really get a handle on weight and balance, and of course, the nitty-gritty of securing your load.
All right, so let's start where you always should, the pre-trip inspection. Before you even think about turning that key, your responsibility for the cargo has already started. This is the absolute foundation of hauling safely, and you can bet the exam is going to hit you on it.
Now this right here, this is pretty much the golden rule of trucking. It really doesn't matter who loaded it. If you're the one behind the wheel, you are 100% responsible for what's in that trailer. Remember that phrase, you are responsible. It's a core concept they'll test you on.
So, let's put that rule into a classic test scenario. Picture this. You get a sealed load. The doors are locked. You can't see a thing inside. What are you still legally on the hook for before you hit the road?
And boom, there's your answer. Even if you can't lay eyes on the cargo, you are always responsible for the weight. You have to make sure the truck isn't overloaded and that you're not going over any gross or axle weight limits. The bottom line here is you must check the weights and the paperwork, no exceptions.
Which, is a perfect lead-in to our next section, weight and balance. This isn't just about some rules in a book. This is about the actual physics of keeping a massive vehicle under control. Understanding this stuff is crucial for staying safe and for passing that written test.
All right, you're going to want to burn this term into your brain. Gross Combination Weight Rating, or GCWR. To put it simply, it's the absolute max weight for your entire rig, the truck and the trailer combined, set by the folks who built it. This definition is a very, very frequent guest on the CDL test.
And this shows you why all that weight talk is so important. Look at the left side. With a low center of gravity, the truck is stable and safe. But on the right, when it's top-heavy, that's just a rollover waiting to happen. The exam needs to know that you get this basic principle of safety. Okay, here's a question that's less about memorizing and more about using your brain. The CDL manual is really clear that just being at the legal weight limit isn't always safe. Can you think of 2 times when driving at that legal max weight is actually a really bad idea?
And there you have it. Bad weather and steep downgrades. It's common sense, right? Rain and ice mess with your stopping distance. And coming down a steep hill, a maxed out load and totally overwhelm your brakes. The takeaway is that a true pro adjusts for the conditions, not just for the number on a sign.
Okay, let's get into the part with the most numbers and hard and fast rules, securing your load. You're going to want to pay really close attention here because these details are practically made for exam questions.
Hey, remember that question from the very beginning? Well, here is your answer. The magic number is 2. It doesn't matter how small, how light, or how insignificant a piece of cargo is, federal rules say you need an absolute minimum of 2 tie-downs. If you remember only one number from all this, make it that one.
But that's just where it starts. The rule actually builds from there. You start with your 2 tie-downs for anything, and then you add 1 more for every 10 feet of cargo length. It's a simple formula, and they fully expect you to know it.
Now, it's not just about how many tie-downs you have, it's about how strong they are. And that brings us to another key term, aggregate working load limit. Basically, it's the combined strength of all your tie-downs put together. And the rule is simple, their total strength has to be at least half the weight of the cargo. So, if you've got a 40,000-pound load, you need at least 20,000 pounds of strength from your tie-downs.
Tie-downs are great for holding stuff down, but they don't always stop cargo from sliding around. And that's where blocking and bracing come into play. Just like you see here, these are just things you put around the cargo to physically stop it from shifting forward, backward, or side to side when you brake or take a turn.
So you've inspected, you've balanced, you've secured everything. Awesome. But your job isn't done. The last set of rules we're going to cover is all about rechecking your cargo once you're actually out there on the road. And this is the schedule you just have to memorize. It's a 3-parter. First, you recheck your load within the first 50 miles. Simple. After that, you have to check again every 3 hours or every 50 miles, whichever one comes first. And finally, you have to check it after every single break you take. This 3-step routine is very, very likely to show up on your test.
All right, let's do a quick hitter review. Think of this as your exam cheat sheet. Number 1, you are always responsible for the cargo, period. Number 2, minimum of 2 tie downs, plus 1 for every 10 feet. Number 3, the total strength of your tie downs has to be at least half the cargo's weight. And number 4, recheck within the first 50 miles and then at your regular intervals. You get these 4 points down and you are in fantastic shape.
So look, memorizing the rules is just step 1. The real goal is knowing how to use them. Now that you've got these core principles, how would you handle something special? How do these rules change if you're hauling livestock, or maybe an oversized load that needs special permits? That's the next level of thinking. That's what makes a true professional. Good luck on your exam.